have something prototype. We're not asking for a finished product, it's not Dragon's Den. We're just asking something that you can show in front of everybody else and win some fabulous / rubbish prizes. Who's been to a Leeds Hack before? Yeah. Who knows the fabulous prizes that we give out? You can see some of the prizes over there that we're giving out just behind you on the table where Joe is. Can I get a bit of a woo? Ooh. Yeah, you see, look at those. Okay. So, this event is hosted, sponsored by CBC. We're going to have David coming to give us a bit of a talk about that in a minute. But first of all, the Raspberry Pi. Who has a Raspberry Pi before even coming here? Quite a few of you, that's pretty good. You all know what it is. There's no point in going through it. If you don't know what it is, there's going to be some talks after that throughout the day. There's going to be some jams. We're really going to get you as an introduction. But what can you do with it? What can you do with it in 24 hours? That's what we're here to ask. So some of the things that have been done, I've seen the Ambi Pi, which is basically a couple of LEDs on the back of your television that it's really good to see. The Pi K, I believe they're coming this afternoon to come and show it off. That's a Kickstarter, there's quite a bit of money on that. And the Pi Robot, which is a Roomba with a Pi and a camera attached. How awesome is that? Yes. But what's mostly been done with the Pi? Now these are scientific Twitter questions that I ask my Twitter feed. If you've got a Raspberry Pi, what have you done with it? Anybody want to guess what they've done with it mostly? There we go, nothing. So, about 80% of people that have got a Raspberry Pi have done absolutely nothing with it. The media centre is second, with lots of people doing 80, and then really, really cool stuff. It's just a small, minute, and I'm hoping that this weekend we can make that, at least 50%, because some of you are going to do rubbish, let's be honest. So the hashtag is going to be CBC Pi Hack. Okay? I want you to keep using it. It's around now if you can't see it. Our team, can everybody from our team just give everybody a wave? So we're going to be here, we're going to be around, most of us will be around throughout the weekend, so if you want to come and say hi, if you have any questions, come and ask us. The Wi-Fi, the SSID is CBC Pi Hack, and the password is Raspberry. Right, so notes about the Wi-Fi. Where do we start? You'll find a lot of Wi-Fi networks in this building. Please don't connect to any of the others. We've worked really, really hard to make sure that this is going to work, and it'll only work if everybody works together. You'll notice that that window is sort of gaffer taped. That's because this floor doesn't have internet. That cable goes down to the floor below and connects to a server. So that means that we've basically built the internet for here. The biggest problem we usually have at one of these events is DHCP. We can't give enough IP addresses out. So what we've done is a Raspberry Pi Hack. There is a Raspberry Pi there controlling all the DHCP addresses. Is it over there? The Raspberry Pi has moved. It's that quick. Right? So if that goes wrong, it probably will go wrong. Let's be honest, it's a hack day. I told you not to expect wireless at this one more than any other one. I hope you've all downloaded your OSs. I hope you're all ready. Have you all got pre-formatted SD cards? No, you haven't. Right? We'll go through some of the Wi-Fi rules later, but just be careful with it, okay? It's very stable, according to Alistair. We've done a lot of preparation for this, but again, it's built for 25 people, and there's going to be 200 plus devices. So, a few of the rules. Smoking. If you're going to go down for smoke or something like that, go down the lift downstairs. You will need to leave your badge out. Same rules with Leeds Hack. If you're leaving the building, you leave your badge, and you walk out the building. You can't walk out with your lanyard. Okay? When you come in, there'll be someone downstairs at all times. Okay, just step out and step away. Make sure that when you come into the building, nobody else walks in with you. Even if you know, don't let them in. Leave it to our team down there, because a lot of people like to drink on this side of town on a Saturday night, and it's not going to be good if somebody we don't know comes up and goes, "Hey, free stuff." They might think it's a pie, and If they're leaving the building, we've just gone through that. Fire exits. There is an exit there in that corner. There is an exit in that corner. And there is an exit in the male toilets. Ladies, if you want to explore what a male toilet looks like, that's not the time. Okay? Please don't break it. If there's a if the fire alarm goes off, well, just leave. Okay? Soldering. Anybody planning to do some soldering this weekend? Yes. No lead-based solder. We really don't want, people being weird. We're going to have a dedicated area somewhere. We don't know where it is yet, but we're basically just with a bit of ventilation, just so the fire alarms don't go off and things like that. Because somebody has a habit of breaking stuff with soldering irons, doesn't it? Once. Okay? But most importantly, be careful with it, okay? This is the first time we've ever done a hardware hack, and I'm really excited to do this sort of stuff, and if it goes well and nobody dies, we'll do it again, okay? But don't walk around going, oh, I've got a soldering iron. They're not lightsabers, right? Don't make a lightsaber out of a soldering iron this weekend. Under 18s, I believe you're all here. Are there any other? Yeah. So, the summer event that most of you came to, we co-sponsored it with Breeze. They're not here this time, which means that unless there's a parent or guardian, you're going to have to go home around 10, 11 o'clock. You should be all aware of that by now, I believe. You've all got okay, if you come back early in the morning, we'll talk about the food in a minute, but those are the rules. Wi-Fi, yeah, wait till you get home before you watch. That's it, Gossip Girl, that was a good job. Oh, I'll tell you later. So the CBC tuck shop, can the CBC guys wave? Everybody look at the CBC guys. They are doing a tuck shop. You'll find that there's, in your welcome pack, there's a catalogue of what they've got in stock now. If there is something that you don't have in stock, there's a small catalogue over there with about how many products? It's 30,000 new products, which means, you know, it's quite thick. Anything in there, I've been told, that you want, and you order it before 1 o'clock, it'll be here by 5 o'clock. So you don't need to leave. There is an order booklet in there. There's basically about 100 pages in the order booklet. If you want to fill all them up, you feel free. But if you want to put anything in there, order it, pay for it, they'll have it here, delivered. So you don't need to leave the building and stuff like that, which is really good. Yeah. So we thank CBC for that. Talking about CBC, let's introduce David, who just wants to say a few things.
Hi, I've brought a 20-page PowerPoint presentation. Those are about CBC and the 30,000 products. I'm not going to kind of...
Will you shout up, please? That's not on. Sorry, I didn't.
Is that better? No. Yeah, I mean, thanks for the intro, Dom. Thanks for all the work that you've done pulling this together. You know, I think Raspberry Pi, it was originally designed for school children, to get them into programming. You know, what I'm hoping we get out of this is something that would really want someone in school to get into programming. You know, so something exciting, something a little bit more out of the box than what people have been using it for so far, which is, Don pointed out, isn't the main deal. So we're here on hand. We're not here to kind of squeeze your wallets dry. If you need anything, you know, we just want to make it easy for you. Nick and the team over there, they'll take your order and we'll get everything down here as soon as we can do. If you need monitors, I've brought 30 of them down. We've got some kind of adapters that can interface with the Pi, you know, which we can just lend out. The only thing with the monitors, I have kind of robbed them from one of the offices, so if we can keep them as good condition as possible, I won't get my ass kicked when we get back. You know, that's pretty much all I've got to say. We've got some prizes on the table over there. You know, the best prize we couldn't really put on that table because it's actually a tour around the solar factory down in Wales to see a Raspberry Pi being created, and we're hoping to try and get Evan down there as well, so you actually get to meet the inventor. If anyone's got any questions, we'll just be knocking around during the day. Give us a shout. Just before I go, we've got Barbara and Phil from UPlan's School of Computing, Engineering and Physical Sciences. We've got a whole list of other judges coming down, which I think Dom's going to talk about later on, but some pretty exciting stuff going on this weekend. Yeah, just enjoy it. That's all.
Thank you very much. I'm actually quite excited about the top prize. I mean, you get to go and see, the good news is you get to go and see a Raspberry Pi actually being made, you get to go see the project. The bad news is it's in Wales. So. Anybody from Wales? So, food and drink schedule, we said that this time we're going to be providing lunch and breakfast, sorry, dinner and breakfast. I've spelled that wrong, doesn't matter. But you can bring your own snacks, you can bring your own drinks. We've actually added something extra. We're having an afternoon tea. So about 3 o'clock there'll be an afternoon tea with scones and raspberry jam. Do you want to know why? Because you can't get Raspberry Pis anywhere in bulk easily, right? Now trust me, it's really, really good. It's Costco, all the things. So scones and raspberry jam, and they are nice. Dinner is pizza, chips. It's the first time we've done pizza at Leeds, I think, and possibly something else because I wasn't quite sure. But that'll be tonight. Breakfast at 9 AM, which will be baked bagels and vegetarian options. But because we were told, all right, you know what? vegetation options. We can sort that out. There are healthy. When we say healthy, it's healthy for Leeds because they basically are the oats and grains and nuts with little bits of chocolate in. They're like little energy bars. That's for breakfast, and we'll have them from 7 AM. The hacking schedule, as we say, I say the awards will be at 3 PM probably. Anybody that knows Leeds knows the schedule tends to be quite flexible at that point because where we assume that 15 people will enter, last time we had about 45. So if we could have, we'll give you a bit of schedule of that, we'll update the Twitter, we'll update the board over there, and we'll keep something going on here. As I say, judges, I'm one of the judges this year, which is going to be quite interesting. We've got Barbara, is that Barbara over there? From Youth Clan. Simon here? Simon's coming tomorrow. Gareth here. Gareth's over there. Gareth is the author of... There we go, you see. And I've been reading this, and it told me some very interesting facts. In the first week, how many Raspberry Pis do you think were sold each second?
Sold or pre-ordered?
Pre-ordered. Yeah. Do you know what? Don't piss off the sponsors. Alright? Alright, seven a second. Right? Do you know? If I could sell that many sweets, I'd be loads. Alex is coming tomorrow. Alex is from BBC Click. And David, who you've just seen, is going to be doing some of the judging as well. So we're going to be looking at your hacks and writing stuff down. It's not going to be like Dragon's Den. It's not going to be The Apprentice where we go, that's rubbish. We'll just say it to each other. So teams. So with the monitors, by the way, after this, you can go and get one. It's one per team for now because we don't know how many we've got. If I see one table with 4 monitors, somebody's going to get, If you've got a team and you're sorted, and you don't need anybody else, or you wouldn't like anybody else, could I ask you to get up and go over there? But if you've only got a team of 3, it'd be really cool right now if you could, get somebody else just in case, Could you put your hand up if you're looking for a team? You're looking for something to do? Okay. I'm going to get you all to come in here.
Some point after Christmas, and so this is a bit of a dry run really to see if this is the sort of project that might be interesting to take into a school for half a day or something. So the idea about it is to build up a robot car that's controlled by Wi-Fi. So this is the
Certainly a note we've never pronounced, but that's fine. I'm the author of Raspberry Pi Use Guide along with Evan Upton, who is one of the founders of Raspberry Pi Foundation. Came with an idea for the computer. We also have Sam Monk here, who is author of another Raspberry Pi book and many other books on some topics I'm also going to be talking about. If you want to buy 2 books, buy both. If not, buy none. So, without further ado, the Raspberry Pi. If you're here, you know what it is. Probably got one. You might picked one of the new 512 meg ones yesterday. A lot of people have bought the Pi and then thought, what now? I know people who've got it, taken it out of the box twice, left it in the corner. It's one of those things you keep thinking, I'll get to tomorrow. Next week I'll look at it, next month. And it just sits there. The Pi is a computer. It is an entire full computer that you can do anything you can do with your desktop, with your laptop, with a server, with a supercomputer. It's all a question of speed. You can literally run anything on this as long as you don't mind waiting for the results. And for some things you do mind. Like if you want to run Crisis, then it's not very much fun when you're getting 3 frames every other minute. But if you want to run something like Quake 3, it's fun. About 30 frames a second. But using it just as a computer, you're going to kind of miss the point of what the Pi is. The reason the Pi has been so popular, the reason we've got so many people here, so many people in other countries interested in the subject, is because it is incredibly low cost. CPC, as I said, is £29.95. You'll pay more than that for a copy of Windows every day. £29.95, and okay, you have to have a monitor, you have to have a keyboard, you have to have a mouse, you need a power supply. There are extra costs, but it's still the cheapest way to get into a computer. Runs Linux, open source operating system. I'll talk more about open source in a second. And it has the GPIO port. General purpose input output. We've seen some people at the Hack who've been using this. We had Phil here yesterday doing a demonstration of a Wi-Fi controlled robot that literally has a price at the top of it, Wi-Fi dongle with it, and it uses the GPIO ports to drive itself around, steer left and right. That's something most desktop computers, most laptop computers don't have. If you're just using this to browse the web, then why did you buy it? Don't do that. Experiment, hack, play. That's what this weekend has been about. That's what the Raspberry Pi is about. That's what people should be doing. It's not the only thing out there. There are rival devices. There are things like the APC 8750, manufactured by a company called VIA, who specialise in very low power processors. They produce a chip called the Eden, which is an x86 compatible processor that will run Windows. It's very slow, but it's passively cooled. You don't need massive rate fan. And this is their attempt at replicating the Raspberry Pi. You can already see that they haven't done a great job of replicating the size. They kind of, a little bit of feature creep there, but it has some advantages though. Processor's slightly faster, 800 MHz to 700 MHz. You can overclock this as well, so that's a draw there. You have VGA output as well as HDMI, so you've got older monitors. That could be an advantage.
Awesome. Right. Much less than 3 minutes to get set up.
Okay, you can begin whenever you want.
Right. So, the basis of this bit, I'll take the first bit. The basis of what you see here, much as Gareth was talking about microcontrollers, we've got a microcontroller that is hooked up to a Pi at the moment here. And on the Pi, we have a little application, which is, by the way, on GitHub. Open source, open hardware, we love it. We want to do it, all that stuff. And in control apps, we have a little Python application. Just like the Python to come up. Network. The Windows network.
We try and plug it in.
Yeah. That was really, really helpful, isn't it?
Technical support, what about
Yeah.
So what it is, it's basically a semaphore system. So it's a mechanical semaphore, with flags, and it follows Twitter. And when somebody tweets at it, it reads out that tweet in semaphore. And the other thing we did, which doesn't quite work, was we did hook up a webcam to the Pi, and it'll look at you with your flags. So you could do semaphore at it, and it'll tweet whatever you send it at it. But we had a few issues with that, mainly revolving around USB webcams and Kinect devices just not wanting to talk to the Pi. And it turns out that image processing is hard. So if you've got me against a nice black background, I can make it work. But with a noisy background and big bright lights, not so much. So we can't demonstrate that bit.
We don't have internet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat and do a bit of test data for you here. It has listened, it will listen on Twitter, and we will be setting up in the Hackspace if anyone wants to verify this.
confused.
And it's still safe. And it's still safe. So there you go. So,
Thank you very much, guys. I have got Minecraft Secure Pi and Wi-Fi Buggy down here, as well as PiOS. Can I get...
Certainly nobody can ever pronounce, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm the author of Raspberry Pi User Guide, along with Evan Upton, who is one of the founders of Raspberry Pi Foundation, came up with an idea for the computer. We also have Sam Monk here, who is author of another Raspberry Pi book and many, many other books on some topics I'm also going to be talking about. If you want to buy 2 books, buy both. If not, buy none. So, without further ado, the Raspberry Pi. If you're here, you know what it is. Probably got one. You might have picked one of these 512 meg ones yesterday. A lot of people have bought the Pi and then thought, what now? I know people who've got it, taken it out of the box twice, left it in the corner. It's one of those things you keep thinking, I'll get to tomorrow. Next week I'll look at it, next month, and it just sits there. The Pi is a computer. It is an entire whole computer that you can do anything you can do with your desktop, with your laptop, with a server, with a supercomputer. It's all a question of speed. You can literally run anything on this as long as you don't mind waiting for the results. And for some things you do like if you want to run Crisis, then it's not very much fun when you're getting 3 frames every other minute. But if you want to run something like Quake 3, it's fun. About 30 frames a second. But using it just as a computer, you're going to kind of miss the point of what the Pi is. The reason the Pi has been so popular, the reason we've got so many people here, so many people in other countries interested in the subject, is because it is incredibly low cost. It's, I mean, CPC, as I said, is £29.95. You'll pay more than that for a copy of Windows for your desktop. You pay more than that for a mouse. £29.95, and okay, you have to have a monitor, you have to have a keyboard, you have to have a mouse, you need a power supply. There are extra costs, but it's still the cheapest way to get into a computer. It runs Linux, open source operating system. I'll talk more about open source in a second. And it has the GPIO port, general purpose input-output. We've seen some people at the Hack who've been using this. We had Phil here yesterday doing a demonstration of a Wi-Fi controlled robot that literally has a Pi sat on top of it, Wi-Fi dongle in it, and it uses the GPIO ports to drive itself around, steer left and right. That's something most desktop computers, most laptop computers don't have. If you're just using this to browse the web, then why did you buy it? Don't do that. Experiment, hack, play. That's what this weekend has been about. That's what the Raspberry Pi is about. That's what people should be doing. It's not the only thing out there. There are rival devices. There are things like the APC 8750, manufactured by a company called Via, who specialise in very low power processors. They produce a chip called the Eden, which is an x86 battery processor that will run Windows. It's very slow, but it's passively cooled. You don't need massive rate fan. And this is their attempt at replicating the Raspberry Pi. You can already see that they haven't done a great job of replicating the size. They're kind of a little bit of feature creep there, but it has some advantages there. The processor's slightly faster, 800 MHz to 700 MHz. You can overclock the Pi, overclock this as well, so that's a draw there. You have VGA output as well as HDMI, so you've got older monitors. That could be an advantage. Stop. But yeah, I get the stuff when I play with it. People think, don't go out and buy all of this. I want it to be this, but first of all, think about what you can do with the Pi on its own. Without any of this other stuff, without the more powerful board, without the board with the more USB ports, without the real-time stuff, the Arduino, without any of that, people have created, I don't know if anyone's seen recently, I think the Raspberry Pi Foundation put it on their website, a miniature arcade camp. Has anyone seen that? It's literally, for those who haven't seen it, It is about that big, mid perspex. It has a joystick, 2 buttons, has a little fake coin slot. Small, it's about 2.3-inch main screen, which connects, strangely enough, to GPIO port rather than the other outputs. Tiny little LED screen for the marquee, which shows the name of the current game, and it's running an emulator called Main. He can play 80s era arcade games at full speed on this tiny little arcade machine, just with this, nothing else. We've seen other projects, we've seen the Fish Pie, guys developing a fully autonomous sea-going vehicle that will be able to cross the Atlantic by itself, using a camera to see if the ship's in the way, using GPS to figure out where it is, just with this. None of that extra stuff, just with this. There are problems with Pi, the USB ports have caused a few people problems. They're not. They look like USB ports, you plug USB things into them. They don't give 500 milliamps, they're not real USB ports, a lot of devices don't like. But that's not stopping people. This thing's £30, so you can buy one, play with it. It can do some genuinely remarkable things. We've all seen Quake 3 running on it at 30 frames a second, playing it. If you can imagine creating, for example, a small box, this size, and it being the invite to a LAN party. For £30 each. If everybody has one of these, you can plug them into a network, you can all play multiplayer Quake 3 on a level playing field. Nobody's going to have an unfair advantage because they bought the latest GeForce GTX 690 and they're faster than everybody else. It's a level playing field. You can set this up so that you could sell this if you wanted, slap a logo on the top, sell it with a game, and people just plug it in and play. People are using this to create commercial projects, and the foundation is happy with that. There's a chap who's used a Raspberry Pi, an off-the-shelf wireless adapter, small printer, one of the bits and pieces, and he set up a wireless photo so that you can take a photo, send it to Pi, ask for payment, take payment, print it out. And he's building this so it will be an off-the-shelf commercial product people can buy if they're running a theme park or something and they want to be able to sell ride pictures to people. They'll be able to buy this. And at the heart of it is a Raspberry Pi. And it's because it's so cheap, it would be far more expensive for him to develop an embedded computer to go and hack this. It would be just to buy this and install the software and put it in illegally. That's the power of Pi. We've seen so many projects, and we're going to see in the judging what people achieve here. And I've been wandering around talking to some people, and you can do some amazing things with it. You can do more things when you start adding in Gertboards, Arduinos, or USB, all that kind of stuff. But even just with the Pi, you genuinely can do some incredible things. And when you do, release them as open source. You don't have to. The guy who developed the commercial photo didn't. He doesn't make money that way, he's not using it, but open source is brilliant, is excellent, is the reason I do what I do. I write about open source because it excites me. I find it an incredible concept that people can build on what other people have done and share this information. Be part of that. It's the world's biggest community. They're all like us. They're all massive geeks. And all you have to do to join in is release your own stuff with an open source license. Or fix a bug in somebody else's thing. Or just play with it. Just use it and you are still part of that community. Do it. It's why we're all here, and it is the future of software and hardware. And that's pretty much it. Run out of things to say. Buy my book, obviously.
Need to hold it up and really sell it. But hold that, you really want to. Just don't read off the ISBN.
Available at all good stores now. Most bad stores, and apparently in this box. More people into submission.
Now's the time we've all been waiting for. So we're just going to take about 2 or 3 minutes to get set up here, and about 20 minutes for him to pack up all the has got out. What we're going to do is we're going to call you up, a few teams at a time. We're going to tell half of you to stand here and half of you to stand there. While one is presenting, the other will be setting up. You'll have about 3 minutes to set up, which means you'll have about 3 minutes to present. Now, it's a very varied 3 minutes. If your presentation's rubbish, then you'll get about 2 minutes, maybe 1.5. If it's really good, then maybe you'll get 5. You know, it depends on the audience vote, you know. Are all our judges here? Or judges there? Yep. Harry, you have to move. David, can I ask you to come and join us on the judges? Now, they don't have Britain's Got Talent style, but come on, there's loads of seats. You want to sit down, guys? And girls, come on. We're bringing more heaters. Look at this, there's a heater there. You can sit on the table, it's fine. Nobody will tell you off. And could I have the Raspberry Pi display system, Run Pi Run, and the VTI? Now, can I have Run Pi Run and the VTI stood here? And can I have the Raspberry Pi display system stood here? So while Alistair is getting set up, you're up first, so do you want to start getting set up here? Okay. So, on average, each contestant, I'm going to game show this up now. Okay, we're into it now. I'm awake. Each contestant will have about 3 minutes to wow you with what they've built. Remember, all these have been built in the last 24 hours. Not all of them will work. We're hoping that none set fire. We've done quite well with the record. We've only blew the power out 3 times. But the Wi-Fi has been quite stable. You've got to admit for a Hackday. Yes. Okay, are you ready, Alistair?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Right, first of all, I decided to make a pie case. And I've been packing it out, but it's not quite gross. So. But anyway.
That was a great start.
It's marvellous. I had some sleep as well. Anyway, no. It's December, it's great, it's Advent, it's coming up to Christmas, which is great fun. And we were chatting the other night and talking about Christmas tree lights and flashing them and doing them to music. And what we've got here is basically a Gurt build, which I'm just using some circuitry plugged into the Pi. The computer actually just supplying power, so I need to boot it all. And hopefully, if I press the button, it only does 30 seconds before we grab this. Yeah, it's just MP3 playing in sequence C program that's going through pre-sequence lights for music. That one. Dom's not allowed this button after today.
Alright, is that what it's saying?
That's it.
Thank you very much. Round of applause there for Alistair. Can I have web grab come over here and digital plaques go over there, please? Do you want to come back up and do you want to start setting yours up? Are you ready?
Pretty much.
Right, there's no, do you want the project? Oh, no,
I think.
okay, so this is, for the judges, this is VTI, vocal Twitter interface. The one that you saw previously was Christmas pie. Okay?
Well, basically, what it is a tweet reader. It vocalises Twitter feeds, mainly focused at people with visual impairment. So as you notice, nothing. No display. Nothing at all. All you have access is just two buttons. One button is to select options from a vocal menu. The other button is to run them. So, if this is turned on, so the select button, options, I'll turn it up.
Main menu,
That's main menu,
recent tweets,
recent tweets. So hit the other button,
standby,
and then it downloads the current Twitter feed from my own Twitter account. By the way, if anyone posts at @rabbitinventor, sorry, rabbit_inventor now, I'll probably be able to get you a tweet in just a minute. So,
added root tweeted, Tokyo Maker Fair 2012 photos, and related web link, //t.co/kf. Repeat last tweet,
so we can either repeat the last tweet from there, or
continue,
we'll continue on to the next one.
standby,
Shouldn't take as long.
Hackday tweeted, new post, Pixar style lamp project is a huge animatronics, women related web link, //t.co/3fxo. Repeat last tweet,
So I should go back
continue,
to the main menu.
return to main menu, main menu, recent tweets, recent mentions,
Recent mentions. Anyone tweeted me?
standby,
So now it's downloading my mentions feed. Fingers crossed. It's always the moment of truth.
Richard Ray tweeted, at rabbit_inventor glad to be of help. Repeat last tweet,
And that is pretty much it. The follow-on from this is to look at sort of more menu options, changing the voice, maybe changing the speed of the voice, and then possibly being able to actually do voice recognition software to actually put your own tweets out from it. And that's it.
Thank you very much. Can I have the digital flax queuing up here, and can I have web grab starting to set up? Guys, are you ready? Right, are you ready? Just stay out of that projector. Are we set up? Ready when you are, guys? So, just for the judges, that was the vocal Twitter interface, and this is, who are you guys? Run Pie Run, okay?
Okay, well, for the past 24 hours or 12 hours for us to put everything together, we've been using what most of you might consider buggy, Java. We've been trying to challenge this little tiny low-powered computer with Java, so we built in less than 12 hours-ish a game called Run Pie Run, built with Java. Now, as it took about 30 seconds to load up, eventually, in a few minutes, the frame will load. The aim of the game is, you're the character, and you have to run and collect all the pieces of the pie, so we kind of made the game orientated around the Raspberry Pi. So it's when it loads, you might notice a lot of lag because it's Java. We didn't realise how limited the Raspberry Pi is at running Java. Here is to collect all the pieces and you'll get a Raspberry Pi at the end. So we've built 3 levels. And one of those, here it is. Seems a bit more like stable than it did earlier, but
Don't say that.
if you compared this, like, because it's Java, you can run it on Mac, Windows, PC. If you ran that on the computer, you'd probably notice it's a lot smoother, but we decided to give this Raspberry Pi a bit of a challenge. I don't think it's too bad. It seems to have run quite well. Apart from the long loading times.
Okay, thank you very much. writing pie card, I love the pun. Stand here, please. Guys, are you ready? Do you want the... Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you can get the VGA, no problem. Okay, whoever's first here, can I have you get set up? Okay, so for the judges, this is digital plaques. No, your web grabber. Okay.
This is a web interface to a machine sitting over the corner. It's a classic amusement arcade grabbing machine. It's based on WebIO. As you can see, you can move forward and back. You can literally grab the sweets and move to the menu. It's using WebIO to do the web interface and MJPEG streamer to stream the web app. It's a quick web page.
Quick web page. There's other panels as well.
It's forwards and backwards, left and right, up and down.
I could do a bit more of a visual example.
Yeah, you go.
So, that's going left.
Yeah, so actually moving over there. Let's see.
You can hear it.
I'd like some oohs from the audience. There we go.
Well, which you can see just get into the front of the glass and then backwards. It starts to move backwards as well. Unless it's jammed there as well. It is a bit temperamental, the mechanics of the machine, unfortunately. But yeah, just trying to get it done up to work.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys. This is great. VGA, yeah. Small company, and some of our customers have what we call a display system, basically a monitor in the shop window, giving out kind of information like, say, housing estate agents, company. But to do that, they've got to have like a normal tower PC, and it gets clunky, and it's just so much space is taken up next to the monitor, and it doesn't look nice because you've always got to tidy it away, hide it away, and stuff like that. So, why not stick it on the Raspberry Pi instead? Using like MySQL, PHP, stuff like that. So on here is just a simple Apache web server. So I'm currently sitting in a housing estate agency, so I'm just going to upload a couple of images for the system to use. Again, if I actually got round to it, I would have put more details in, like captions and prices and all the rest of it, but just give you the general idea. So that's kind of like the admin back end of it, like the person in the kind of back office uploading the images, putting details in. And this here is basically the Raspberry Pi plugged in and kind of self-taped on the back of the monitor. And basically it would just cycle through the images and details that we've just uploaded. Obviously shown to the public as they walk past the shop window. And that's all. Thank you very much. You want to get set up?
Hard work getting involved in.
Everyone's going to work now?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, look, we'll come on there quickly.
create a website and a skeleton trap. You can put it on your phone, your tablet, or PC, or blah blah blah. Do multiplayer and leaderboards, and we even had ideas of doing power-ups. This all started to fall apart when we ran into limited power of the USB
of the Raspberry Pi, and we ran into some big problems interfacing with the Arduino. We managed to get the Scalextric talking to the Arduino, so we were able to, full population, we used a couple of MOSFETs and the wires, and they use the Arduino to gate the voltage, and managed to get it going faster and slower and faster and slower. We just couldn't get the server talking to the track, but we did get the server.
The server's quite nice. The idea is that you connect with a phone or any tablet PC, and it would do sessioning, so you could hop on and off the track, and it would say, okay, you came up next on the server list, so you get next to play of the track. And it all worked, and it was really nice, and it had a really lovely user interface, and that all worked brilliantly. And Scalextrics worked brilliantly, we could set the speed of the cars and that kind of stuff, that was great. But getting them to communicate didn't work. We spent a good 12 hours today trying to do that.
That's basically what we've been doing since 12 o'clock last night.
We even ditched fun ideas like tracking the cars through the trap. We had a way of, basically I dremeled tiny holes in the little groove down the middle, and painstakingly put brushes in there on either side that would form a contact with the 19-volt rail.
Theoretically, it was brilliant, and you should judge us on that.
Yeah, don't look at this pile of failure here.
Yeah, don't worry about what we actually made.
Look at the word painting we made.
We have a Scalextric in the corner, but at the moment, if you put any cars on, they go very quickly and fly off.
Because to make this all work, we had to loop off the existing geometry. Although, admittedly, you could just put it back together again, and you could play with it, but only if you vote for us.
Irish won't make one, that's all I'm saying.
We brought a Scalextric.
Thank you very much, guys. Well done.
We've got our Pi here, and we've built a little weather interface basically. These are wall blocks, and it's a 5x5 matrix, which is how you set the key in Minecraft. So just
webcam, so probably piece on what's how it's going to work. This is the live webcam we have. It's not the best. I've had performance issues with it, but I've tried to figure out what's wrong with it. It's not to do with the fact it's a weak processor or anything. It's something to do with the webcam itself, and the fact that the drivers for it don't really like it too well. So we use the arrow key to drive it around. Unfortunately, can't turn left, but can turn right. This was a project I did over a year ago with a group of other guys. We didn't use a Cherry Pi, but we used a Beagle board instead. That's very similar to Cherry Pi, but it's a little bit more powerful, a lot more expensive, and basically I took all the code I had and dumped on the Cherry Pi. This is pretty much similar hardware, it's the exact same webcam and everything. You might notice I've cheated, and the remote control is here, not on the car itself. That was just a shortcut, but the original did actually control it by the Beagle board itself.
So we wrote some video. Is that how the cool kids are pronounced? Oh, I wish I was cool. Fails.
Are we good? Okay. What? I put the laptop in front of me. Are we good now? Yes. Okay. What we've made is something that's half Pi, half board, and all game. It's essentially a board game where the Raspberry Pi controls what happens within it. So it's designed for kids. It's a cooperative board game. You sort of wander around, you fight ghosts, you kill the ghost, you get to eat the ghost because luckily enough the ghost is made out of sweets, so that's good. And Pi
controls the game by you talking to a Morse code, which might actually be working. Yep, okay, it's still there. So the Pi, you communicate with the Pi with Morse code. The Pi communicates back to you using text-to-speech, so it's audio-only interface. And I might try and actually talk to it at this point. It may go quiet. That is it working. You'll take my word for that. But you basically type in some Morse code, which the characters all have a couple of commands. These are the cards for the characters. There are brief instructions on the back. And the player has to type in the correct Morse code. The Pi responds to this code. Essentially, it kind of rolls the dice for you. So it's as if, instead of you rolling the dice to see if you've succeeded, the Pi tells you what happens next. So you type in the Morse code word, and the Pi responds to you, so it controls the game. Talk about the education aspect. Yeah. Okay.
One of the things we didn't want to do was create a full completed game. To actually give something more of a launch pad for the kids and teachers to use themselves. The code itself works on the source files. You see here, everything uses text-to-speech. You've then got as a special attack to go further down. So for the biggest special attack there is great, 40% chance of success. Hopefully the way it's laid out, as soon as kids see it, they can realise they can make their character 100% successful at all times. They can change the words that they use, they can make an easy word, make it a harder word. Before they realise it, they're starting to hack the game.
The really big thing with us was trying to encourage children to be creative with the Pi as an interface, to get them into looking at code, looking at designing games, challenging the way they think about things that they're using. Most of the time you buy a board game, you play by the rules, it goes back to the box. But we've created a game which is a framework for making you experiment and change ideas and get kids talking to each other and cooperating. It's ideal for a classroom environment where you can have a teacher setting this over the course of a couple of weeks, designing a game using the elements we've provided.
The full source code for all of this is up on Bitbucket under my account xixs/cpcpi hack. So it's not too difficult to find, but it's all up there, it's all checked in.